welcome. Welcome everyone to the Tech Experience podcast. That's where we talk about tech, what it's about. So today we are going to talk about minerals, what powers your machines, everything about your machine. So pick up your phone, hold it in your hand. So that battery, the thing keeping this podcast playing right now, contains cobalt, about 8 grams of it. 8 grams that probably started their life in Katanga region of the DRC. Okay, so dug from the ground by a worker earning maybe $2 a day, run through a Chinese-owned processing facility, shipped to a Korean battery manufacturer, assembled in a factory supplying Apple, Samsung, or whoever made your device, then sold to you. That's a long way to go. And right now, the same Cobalt is powering a data center running the AI tools we used this episode. So this episode we're going to talk about raw materials powering AI. So today we follow the 8 grams all the way from the source, from Katanga up to your hand. So AI is not just code, it's physical. Every AI model trained, every inference that runs when you send a message, every data center that stays online requires specific minerals. Cobalt goes into lithium ion batteries, powering backup systems in data centers and all devices that access AI. So lithium, the core of every rechargeable battery. Copper carries electricity through every chip, cable, and cooling systems. A single NVIDIA H100 GPU, the chip that runs most advanced AI today, draws over 700 watts of power. 700 watts of power. Okay, so 700 watts of power is a lot. It's a lot. With the way Donald Trump says, it's a lot. Yeah. So multiply that by 100,000 GPUs in a single hyperscale data center, like that one for Elon Musk. The data center that he has rented out to he's planning to rent out to Google, and he has already rented to cloud. So you can see the massive need of energy. So all it needs minerals. So let me give you an African geography of the minerals. Okay, so the DRC, cobalt and coltan, 70% of global cobalt comes from DRC. So coltan, which becomes tantalum, goes into capacitors, the circuits boards in every chip. Zimbabwe, one of the largest lithium reserves on the continent. Tanzania and Madagascar, graphite, which goes into battery anode materials. Zambia, anode, cathode. Chemistry, you. Okay, Zambia and Mozambique, nickel and graphite. South Africa, platinum group metals. Africa is not peripheral to the AI economy. It is the foundation to it. But foundational does not mean powerful. Being at the bottom of the supply chain means you get the least value and absorb the most cost, like that for the food chain we usually say. So we at the ground we had the producers, we have the primary consumers, secondary consumers, and then the tertiary consumers, and then that's the cycle. So Africa, we are the producers. Okay, which is a very bad spot to be. So if Africa has the minerals that makes AI possible, why does Africa has the least say in how AI is built, governed, and deployed? That's a question too. It's a very critical question to answer. So the DRC power move. In February 2025, the DRC did something that sent shockwaves through the global tech industry. They halted all cobalt exports. Full stop. A stop. Sha. Okay. As like the one that Kenya, like President William Ruto was saying about that now onwards will be not exporting raw materials, but rather exporting already processed goods. Okay, let's see how that will roll out, because you see here in 25 February, the DRC did that. So prices immediately surged. Cobalt metal more than doubled in value by the year end. Chinese refiners scrambled, battery manufacturers panicked, and suddenly everyone realized what the DRC had always known. When you control 70% of something essential, you have leverage, very leverage. Okay, so when exports resumed, they came with quotas 96,600 metric tons for 2026 and 2027, less than half the DRC previous annual output. Violators face permanent bans. Kinshasa was sending a message: we know we have and we are done giving it away at your price, at a throwaway price, burner. So then came the US response in February 4th, 2026, the first ever critical minerals ministerial at the State Department, 50 plus country, a peripheral trading bloc, and the DRC deal. So security guarantees and substantial investments in exchange for prioritized Cobalt access. So the deal looks cheeky though. So security guarantees and substantial investments in exchange for the prioritized Cobalt access. The DRC has plainly, this partnership reflects a fundamental unique power dynamic. The DRC possesses the world's largest cobalt reserve, while simultaneously grappling with extreme poverty, labor exploitation, food insecurity, and violent conflicts. So, is the DRC export quota strategy the first real example of an African country using AI supply chain leverage as a geopolitical power? What do you think about it? So, wonders shall never end. So the human cost. So in 2024, the global lithium mining required 456 billion liters of water, equivalent to the annual domestic water needs to 62 million power people in sub-Saharan Africa in region already facing water stress, drought, and food security. The AI boom is consuming water that African communities need to survive. There's the labor reports from the DRC document child labor in artisan cobalt mines, workers using hand tools. Hey, no protective equipment. That's PPE, personal protective equipment, exposure to toxic dust, wages of $1 to $2. Like, yo, this is exploitation. And who supply chain does the cobalt enter? Apple, Tesla, Samsung, Google, Google. So ESG report a sustainability pledge, responsible sourcing policy, and yet the supply chains remain largely the same. Reports note that the mining inspection brings farm displacement, resource conflicts, and land use change to communities where mining and agriculture to overlap. So the people who dig the minerals rarely benefit from the AI those minerals enable. Okay, very sad. So how should African consumers feel about using AI tools built on supply chains that exploit other Africans? It's not fair for sure. Not Matumbo for sure. It's not fair for sure. So moving up the chain. So Zimbabwe banned raw lithium export. They said, you want our lithium, you process it here, you employ our people, you build our refinery capacity. That's the right instincts. Namibia did the same in 2023. The African Union adopted Africa's Green Mineral Strategy in February 2025, a continental framework designed to transform Africa from raw mineral exporter to an integrated partner in global clean tech supply chains. Wonderful. The Lobito Corridor rail project is specifically designed to move minerals more efficiently, but the question is always to whom? Africa has the minerals, Africa has the people. The question is, in 2026, is whether Africa has the political will and coordination to capture the value of what it has, rather than being extracted from one more time. Very sad. So for other things, this is very sad. So I have been your host, Ruben. This is the Tech Experience Podcast. You are listening to one and only the Tech Experience Podcast. So don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and turn the notification bell. See you on the next episode.